Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. Please excuse my voice. I'm actually really sick right now, so I'll do my best not to, cough or make it raspy and whatnot. Anyway, today I'm here to kind of show you guys a little bit of a new build. It's quite similar to the Poison Trapper, but it's a bit different. I'm kind of testing out to see which character I like more. It's probably going to be the Poison Trapper. But anyway, just to brief you guys so you remember, this is kind of what, my Poison Trapper looks like. He's on route to about 6.7 to 6.8k life, 7k depending on where I go once I put on a lightning coil. As you know, here Exile doesn't give any life, and he's a really solid character sitting at 22,000 evasion with Grace on. Just in general, I've talked about him enough in previous videos. Anyway, the new character that I'm playing, or should I say one of the new characters, is going to be using a bow, but it's still going to be a Poison Trapper. And again, it starts off with the same layout here. Everything here is pretty much the same. The only difference is this character, instead of going to the Scion Life Wheel, is actually going to branch through here, grab like Golem's Blood, come across into Fury Bolts, grab like Art of the Gladiator, because this is a bow character. Now, ironically though, I don't actually pick up any bow nodes because traps in general just have so many multipliers and so much increases, you don't really need to get bow damage. Like, it's actually not required at all, which is really interesting about it. And I still have to pick up Force Shaper over here. But anyway, the purpose of this character, opposed to my other character, is instead of being an evasion character, this character is going to use Iron Reflexes. And the reason why is there's one unique specifically. Let's see if I can pull this up. Alright, there's a unique specifically that I'm going to be using in this build, and it's called Rearguard. So Rearguard gives me 4 to 500, well, about 450 armor, gives me block and spell block. Now, Acrobatics will cut my block by a third, and it will cut the armor value in half. So I figured to myself, well, why not just go Iron Reflexes and, kind of feel how it plays out. I can still run Grace and everything else I want to run, and I'm coming to Duelist anyway through here, right? So it's like, it's perfect. This character will also utilize 7 Frenzy Charges, as it's not going crit and it is using a bow. We're going to see exactly how we can scale that. So 7 Frenzy Charges. Since I use a bow, it's not hard. You just shoot a Frenzy, everything's pretty much good. And again, the only other thing about this character is hopefully it's gonna be much cheaper. And the reason why is it doesn't require a Benos, although it does require at least one 5-link to properly get going. We're gonna be utilizing a weapon called Chinsol. I'm sure people have played or seen these in the past. Basically, you can utilize this one here, 100% more bow damage at close range, right? Also, point blank is projectile attacks deal up to 50% more damage. So you've got a multiplier here, you've got all your trap increases, you've got the multipliers on your support gems, then you've got your bow damage, and then you've got the multiplier on your bow as well. Now, since the trap is dealing the damage source, it's how close the monster is to the trap. What the hell just happened? I don't even know. Alright, we'll just pretend that was porn kappa. Alright, anyway, so that's kind of one really unique thing about it is you can pretty much lay the trap down from a distance and you're still getting the multiplier from point blank and from Chinsol. And Chinsol is a very budget item. It's like literally 1 alchemy orb. So assuming the build works, let's hope it doesn't go up in price like Benos. Alright, now another thing is if you're going poison, which is the route I'm taking, you are still limited to what skills you can use. And the reason being is you don't want to use a conversion spell when you're playing around with chaos damage and poison. So say you use something like lightning arrow, right? While percentage of the damage is converted to lightning, that lightning element, that property of lightning, will not add to any of your poison damage, meaning it's pretty much half as effective. Because poison scales off of your physical or scales off of your chaos. That's it. Unless you're doing some other cool edgy modifiers, that's pretty much it to my knowledge. So now anyway, continuing with the character, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a sheet so you guys can kind of see what it's going to look like towards, pretty much endgame. This is a 118 point build. It gets 10% less life, 10% less life than my other character, which is okay. It's still on the route to 6,000 HP. It gets less evasion, although it gets less evasion and doesn't use a shield. However, it does gain value off of armor because I get the duelist area. Where is it? Or maybe I don't. I could spec into Cloth and Chain for 2 points. It's just a different playstyle, really, and I'm kind of curious. I do get, you know, like, dirty techniques here and stuff. But anyway, going on with the character, one really interesting thing I want to talk about is I'm actually using Bladefall on the character. And this goes back to Poison again, kind of like the way it works. So even though I'm using a Death's Heart bow right now, I'm level 47. I can relatively kill pretty much anything right now with ease. It's a pretty cool car alarm. We're just going to pretend like it's not going off, right? Let's mind never matter, boys. Since we're using Death's Harp, our damage is kind of falling off a little bit because, you know, we do need to get an upgrade here soon. I think Death's Harp is for like 32 or 34. But the character is still doing pretty good, so I'm just I'll go to Battlefront here, which is a level 50 area. I'm 47. You know, this is with no auras, nothing crazy. It's literally just a Death's Harp and 4 links. I've got Bladefall, Rain of Arrows, increased AoE, and Poison. So they gain all the benefits of that. Additionally, Rain of Arrows will get the benefit from Point Blank. And then I've got Puncture Trap, which is... Puncture Trap has Point Blank, which I actually don't need anymore. I can replace it. But anyway, it's pretty much Trap, Poison, and Point Blank. Point Blank needs to be replaced with Trap and Mind Damage. So we can just do that right now. And then I've got Bear Trap and Knight's Hold, and that's it. And ideally, you would want to run Hatred just for now, and you'd swap it out after. So we'll just keep Hatred on. Yeah, Bladefall's scaling is just retarded. Even though I'm using a bow, it's still insane. So here's going to be a Bladefall. Alright, and this could be the Puncture Trap. This would be the Rain of Arrows Trap. It doesn't do like anywhere near the damage compared to Bladefall. But again, that's because it's actually scaling off the weapons damage, whereas Bladefall is scaling off of just, you know, pretty much gem level, and that's it. But I do feel that when I get it into 5 link, it's going to be, you know, much more effective, especially when I throw on Chin Soul. But the single target is really good as well when you factor in Bear Trap, because again, the damage statistic should be similar to my other character, because Beano's and an evasion shield don't increase the damage of Bladefall at all, and everything on my tree is scaling, you know, global damage with the exception of projectile damage right here. Everything else is scaling Bladefall. If you didn't want to do a poison build, then you could play around with other skills. You could play around with, like, I don't know, whatever the new skill is. I don't know. It's like a fiery Rain of Arrows, whatever it's called. You could play around with stuff like that. But I do kind of want to stick with poison just because the tree is like so catered toward poison in the route that I take. But yeah, the character is pretty solid, like I said. You know, against bosses, it's really good as well. You just Bear Trap, Puncture, Bear Trap, Puncture. Now, another really interesting thing is if I can manage to drop like Bear Trap and Bladefall, which could be a possibility later on, mana is not going to be a problem at all because these are considered like attacks. So their mana cost like never goes up. So a 4-link Puncture costs like 13 mana, or maybe it does go up. No, sorry, bow skills do go up, but it's not that much at all. And a 4-link Rain of Arrows is 22 mana. That's nothing. You know, a 4-link Bladefall is 46. That's more than double the mana cost. And the purpose of this character again, which I never went over at the beginning, is because the one biggest issue I have with my Trapper is that even with all the trap cooldown recovery on the tree, it still doesn't feel like enough. It still feels like you run out of traps with just 1 AoE. But Beano's does kind of help and complement that fact with the spread, but it doesn't feel like it's enough. Doing this, I get to have 2 different traps. You know, like I don't even need Bear Trap. Puncture is fine, but I have 2 different things for AoE. You know, that's one of the main things I was really excited for. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to, you know, ask away in the comment section. Again, this character is in, like, the very early stages, so don't pull out some crazy, you know, Pohx, but what if I do Wed Physical to Lightning, Low Life Chevrons with a Summoner while dual-wielding at Zeri? I'm gonna be like, dude, man, I go as Xeno, because I couldn't help you. If you want to see this character's stats and their gear, any of that stuff, just go look up Pohx Soul. My gear is not optimized at all. Don't ask why I'm wearing certain things. It's just basic stuff. I'm only level 40. So anyway, I hope you guys had a wonderful time. If you liked the video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you can catch me streaming daily at twitch.tv/Pohx. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.